We live in a world of unprecedented choices. Supermarkets boast countless cereal options. Online stores offer endless varieties of clothing. While this abundance may seem liberating, it often leads to a surprising outcome: unhappiness. This is the paradox of choice. More choices can lead to decision paralysis, regret, and a nagging feeling that we haven't made the best decision. We become overwhelmed by the sheer volume of options and struggle to choose. The pressure to maximize our choices can be exhausting. Instead of enjoying our decisions, we second-guess ourselves, wondering if we could have done better. This constant comparison and analysis can diminish the satisfaction we derive from our choices. Ultimately, the abundance of choice, while seemingly empowering, can become a source of stress and dissatisfaction. A famous study vividly illustrates the paradox of choice. This study has become a cornerstone in understanding how we make decisions in everyday life. Researchers set up a jam tasting booth at a gourmet food store. The booth was designed to attract customers and observe their purchasing behavior. On one day, they offered 24 flavors of jam. The display was vibrant and colorful, showcasing a wide variety of options to entice shoppers. On another day, they offered only 6. The setup was simpler, with fewer choices but still appealing. The results were striking and unexpected. While the booth with 24 flavors attracted more customers, those who sampled from the smaller selection were 10 times more likely to purchase jam. This finding was surprising and counterintuitive. Why? Because too much choice can lead to decision paralysis. When faced with an overwhelming number of options, our brains struggle to process all the information. When faced with an overwhelming number of options, we struggle to evaluate them effectively. The abundance of choices can make it difficult to compare and contrast each option. We become paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong choice. This fear can be so intense that it prevents us from making any decision at all. This analysis paralysis can prevent us from making any decision at all. Instead of feeling empowered by the variety, we feel overwhelmed and stuck. The study highlights the importance of limiting choices to facilitate better decision-making. By reducing the number of options, we can make the decision process more manageable. When we have fewer options, we can focus on those that truly matter and make choices with greater confidence and satisfaction. This leads to a more fulfilling and less stressful decision-making experience. People approach decision-making in different ways. The process of making choices can vary greatly from one person to another, influenced by their personality, experiences, and even the context of the decision itself. Some are maximizers, always striving for the absolute best. They meticulously research every possible option, comparing features, prices, and reviews to ensure they make the most informed decision. Others are satisficers, content with finding an option that meets their basic needs. They prefer to make decisions quickly, without getting bogged down by endless comparisons. Maximizers invest significant time and energy researching every option, comparing features, and seeking the perfect choice. This thorough approach can sometimes lead to decision paralysis, where the fear of making the wrong choice prevents any decision from being made at all. While this approach can lead to objectively better outcomes, it often comes at a cost: increased stress, anxiety, and regret. The constant pursuit of the best can leave maximizers feeling overwhelmed and dissatisfied even after making a decision. Satisficers, on the other hand, set a minimum threshold for acceptability and choose the first option that meets their criteria. They are more likely to be content with their choices, as they focus on what is good enough rather than what is perfect. They don't dwell on alternatives or strive for perfection. This mindset allows them to avoid the stress and second-guessing that often plagues maximizers. This approach allows them to make decisions quickly and efficiently, freeing up time and mental energy for other pursuits. Satisficers often find themselves with more time to enjoy hobbies, spend with family, or engage in other fulfilling activities. While there's no right or wrong approach, understanding your decision-making style can help you make choices that align with your personality and goals. By recognizing whether you are a maximizer or a satisficer, you can tailor your decision-making process to better suit your needs and reduce unnecessary stress. Decision fatigue is a real phenomenon that affects everyone, from busy professionals to stay-at-home parents. It refers to the mentally draining experience of making too many decisions in a short period. This can happen in our personal lives, at work, or even during leisure activities. Each decision, no matter how small, depletes our mental energy reserves. Imagine your brain as a battery that gets drained with every choice you make. As our mental energy dwindles, our decision-making abilities decline. We start to feel overwhelmed and may struggle to make even the simplest choices. We become more likely to make impulsive choices, avoid decisions altogether, or stick with the status quo, even when it's not in our best interest. This can lead to poor outcomes in both our personal and professional lives. Consider the example of CEOs who simplify their wardrobe choices by wearing the same outfit every day. This strategy helps them conserve mental energy for more critical decisions. By reducing the number of trivial decisions they face, they free up mental bandwidth for more important matters. This approach can be applied in various aspects of our lives to improve efficiency and focus. Decision fatigue affects us all, regardless of our roles or responsibilities. It's a universal challenge that requires awareness and proactive management. Understanding its impact can help us make more conscious choices about how we manage our mental energy throughout the day. By prioritizing important decisions and minimizing trivial ones, we can maintain our mental clarity and make better choices overall. Fortunately, there are strategies to combat decision fatigue and make choosing easier. First, limit your options. Don't feel obligated to explore every possibility. Narrow down your choices to a manageable number before making a decision. Second, set time limits. Avoid agonizing over decisions indefinitely. Give yourself a reasonable time frame to make a choice and move on. Third, accept good enough. Not every decision requires an exhaustive search for the absolute best. Sometimes good enough is perfectly acceptable. And finally, practice gratitude. Focus on the positive aspects of your choices, rather than dwelling on what you might be missing out on. By implementing these strategies, you can reduce the cognitive load of decision-making and free up mental energy for other important aspects of your life. Section 6. Finding freedom in limitation. A personal story of overcoming decision fatigue. I used to be plagued by decision fatigue. Overwhelmed by the countless options available, I'd spend hours researching even the most trivial purchases. This left me feeling exhausted and dissatisfied. Then, I decided to simplify my life. I started by decluttering my belongings, reducing the number of choices I had to make on a daily basis. I also began implementing the strategies I outlined earlier, limiting my options, setting time limits, and embracing good enough. The results were transformative. I felt lighter, freer, and more content with my choices. By letting go of the need to maximize every decision, I discovered a newfound sense of peace and satisfaction. Section 7. The Power of Gratitude. Appreciating what we choose. Gratitude plays a powerful role in combating the dissatisfaction that can arise from having too many choices. When we focus on appreciating what we have, rather than dwelling on what we might be missing out on, we cultivate a sense of contentment and satisfaction. Instead of second-guessing our choices, we can choose to appreciate the positive aspects of our decisions. This shift in perspective can significantly enhance our overall well-being. Practicing gratitude reminds us that we already have enough. It allows us to find joy in the present moment, rather than constantly striving for something better. Section 8. Embracing good enough. Letting go of the pursuit of perfect. The pursuit of perfection can be paralyzing. When we strive for the absolute best in every situation, we set ourselves up for disappointment. There will always be another option, another feature, another upgrade. Embracing good enough doesn't mean settling for mediocrity. It means recognizing that perfection is often unattainable, and that striving for it can be counterproductive. When we let go of the need for perfection, we free ourselves to make decisions more easily and enjoy the outcomes without regret or second-guessing. Section 9. Conclusion: Finding balance in a world of endless options. The paradox of choice highlights the importance of finding balance. While having options is undoubtedly a good thing, an overabundance of choice can lead to negative consequences. By understanding the principles of decision-making, recognizing our own tendencies, and implementing strategies to simplify our choices, we can navigate the modern world with greater ease and satisfaction. Remember, the goal is not to eliminate choice entirely, but to make choices that align with our values, enhance our well-being, and ultimately, lead to a more fulfilling life.